Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Fourth and Gold NFL podcast. It's obviously been quite a busy week with the post-June 1 cut-off, shall we say. We're going to get into all that's happened this week. But first off, let's start with a bit of fun, Paul. Caleb Williams was announced as the Madden 27 cover athlete. So, Caleb, you're going to have to try and evade this Madden cover curse that comes with it. Let's see if you can do it. My trivia question for you this week is probably a tough one, but can you name the last 5 Madden cover athletes? This will be super tough. So I will give you 3 wrong answers, and after every wrong answer, I'll be giving you clues. Now, before we start, I'm just going to say Madden 23, the cover was John Madden for a special John Madden edition. So that would have been difficult to get. But you've got 22, 24, 25, 26.
Okay. I don't pay a lot of attention to this sort of thing.
Yeah.
So only because I've been involved getting ready for this show that I know that Caleb Williams is this year. Well, this upcoming year, Madden 27.
I'm going to give you like an introductory clue. It is quarterbacks and running backs.
Okay. I will take a punt that Lamar Jackson has been on the cover of Madden.
You know what? Lamar has been, but it was before Madden 22.
Okay.
So my next clue is... what's my next clue? Okay, my next clue is one of them is a 49er.
So CMC, because it won't have been Purdy. CMC's been
CMC, Madden 25.
on.
He got injured that year.
Okay. I'll take another punt. Jordan Love.
Not Jordan Love. He has not been... no, he hasn't been on the cover yet. So one thing I will say, Madden 22 had 2 quarterbacks on the cover.
Okay.
So what I will say is, for the next clue, you've only got one other running back to find.
Oh, did they do a take on Saquon hurdling backwards? Saquon's got to be.
Saquon was the cover athlete last year, and indeed, the cover was him doing the backwards hurdle.
See, I haven't seen it, and I just thought that would be like the shot. Yeah, crazy play.
Yeah.
So it's only quarterbacks remaining.
Yep. So Madden 22, it's got 2 quarterbacks on the cover, and then Madden 24.
Right. 2 quarterbacks. So
Yeah.
are they related in some way that they've been involved in some? Okay, so we'll go Mahomes and Allen.
So I'm going to give you both, but Josh Allen was the cover athlete in 24, and Mahomes was the cover athlete in 22 with someone else.
So that's Brady's last year.
It was Brady. Yeah.
Right, okay.
I don't. You know what? I don't know if it was his. Has he? I don't think it was his last year. It might have been the year. It was either his last year or the year before that.
Heading into his last year.
Yeah, yeah.
Because say they would have released that as the Madden cover heading into the off season after they played each other in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, that's what I think it was. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
I did better than I thought, but
Not bad, I've got to say. Yeah.
that's just naming NFL celebrities, really.
Yeah.
Like you help
So,
get the positions and
yeah, I figured I needed to give some help on this one because I wasn't sure if you even know or you don't know. So, I mean, but the fact that you know Caleb, I mean,
Yeah,
That
in the shot.
yeah, like what Iceman or Jumpman even.
He's
I've
ju-
seen two different covers.
yeah, he's sort of jumping into, and it's got to be the Chicago skyline,
Yeah.
throwing off balance in midair.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's they've kind of captured the essence of Caleb Williams and one of the many things that makes him great.
Indeed. Indeed. So on the topic of Madden, there's a team that I feel like is playing Madden, and we'll start off with obviously the blockbuster trade this week. Uh, when I read this, and you'll remember this on Monday because I messaged you and I said, please tell me this is AI. And I am, of course, referring to the Rams trading for Defensive Player of the Year, Myles Garrett. And this is a blockbuster trade given the Rams getting Garrett, but also what they gave up to get him. They gave away Jared Verse. I know you've been a big fan of Verse. He was Defensive Rookie of the Year in his first year. They gave up next year's first round pick, 2028 second round pick, and 2029 third round pick. I like the way they've structured that because they're not, they're not really getting hit all in one go and,
Yeah,
completely disrupting their draft. Next year, they go into their draft and say, oh, our first round pick is Myles Garrett. So, you know, they've set this up in a really smart way, I think. And, just to start off, I really do tip my cap to Les Snead and McVay. This team, as we've said over the last few weeks, came very close last year, and they know that they can go again. And they've clearly done that with all the moves they've done this year. But this one really, puts the icing on the cake for me. I mean, I'm a Niners fan, so I hate it from that point of view. But from a neutral point of view, you have to love the way the Rams operate.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, what like at the end of last season, you could question secondary,
Yeah,
and sure, you could even though the pass rush wasn't the reason why they didn't ultimately win the Super Bowl, it was like coverage on special teams and not being able to cover JSN. Like, okay, let's go out and sign two corners from Kansas City and the all-time single season sack leader. So Jared Verse, my thought with this was when I first heard Jared Verse was involved was shame for Jared Verse. Like he's got to go to Cleveland. But the Rams are aware that Matt Stafford, they don't know. They're doing this on a year by year basis. So he's around for one more year. Maybe two, maybe three, who knows? But Myles Garrett is the best pass rusher in the league right now. And Jared Verse is not. That's a fact. And upcoming, I think it would be what the Jared Verse after this season would be open to negotiations for an extension.
that's right.
So they've got ahead of it. So they have upgraded. I mean, I know like I won't hear anything about the age thing. No, no. It's Myles Garrett. Like
He's only 30, really. I mean, like that's for someone of his stature, that is still young to me.
yeah. And yeah, they don't have to pay Jared Verse. The first round pick, they're probably what? Say they win the Super Bowl, that first round pick is pick 32. So then all the follow on picks you said, like the second round pick the following year, is pick is not going to be pick in the top 10, top 20 even, is it? So and Cleveland were ready for this. They restructured Myles Garrett in advance of this deal. And Cleveland are stacking the deck, getting as many picks as possible for next year, which is projected to be the quarterback draft. And Myles Garrett having the most amount of sacks in a single season still didn't make the Browns successful, ultimately. So Cleveland possibly are going to be even worse than last year, right? In upcoming for the quarterback draft.
Mm.
And yeah, it's not like Myles Garrett can get any better. And so Cleveland have shown you what they're about, and the Rams have showed you what they're about. So cliche, but I think it applies in this case. There can be a trade which makes sense for both teams.
Yeah, definitely. Because when you consider that Myles Garrett wanted out last year,
Yeah.
and they had to basically reset the market by 5 million per year, that's unprecedented, just to keep him around. I feel like there was maybe a route for him to stay, but by getting his guy Jim Schwartz to be the head coach. But the moment they didn't select him, and I don't think I'm not criticizing the Browns for doing that, but the fact that they did that, I think, just gave him another opportunity to say, I don't want to be around here anymore. So, I mean, it's crazy to think. I think this is true as well, that this is the first time the reigning MVP and reigning Defensive Player of the Year have been on the same team.
And the receiving touchdown leader from last year, Devontae Adams caught 14 touchdowns.
Wow. And he was their number 2.
Like Puka's no slouch. Puka would have had, 1,500 yards plus last year. Like I mentioned before, the 2 corners from Kansas City. You got McDuffie, potentially Aaron Donald. I know we're going to come to that. Myles Garrett, the MVP.
It's those 4 though. That,
like the Rams is just not fair. I mean, but the game's not played on paper.
Yeah, that's fair. And I'm not disrespecting the rest of the roster. It's a great roster, but I look at those 4 in particular: Stafford, Puka Nacua, Myles Garrett, and McDuffie. Those are your 4 cornerstones now that can really lead this team to a Super Bowl, I think.
Yeah, and they're not like, they're at critical positions. It's not like they're paying, sorry, but it's not like they're paying, we spoke about it last week. It's not like they're paying the strong safety.
Yeah.
Making him the highest paid in the league. They're paying quarterback, pass rusher, corner, and wide receiver.
Yeah, they haven't paid Nacua yet, but they will. And those are exactly what you said, the key positions.
Yeah, very hard to replace. So it makes sense for both teams, and also just Myles Garrett. What more can he achieve in his career? Well, it would be a Super Bowl, wouldn't it?
It would be a Super Bowl, and I'm going to ask the question because I'm starting to believe it. Like, can he individually become the all-time sack leader? Because he's at 125.5, which puts him 74.5 behind Bruce Smith's just almost impossible record of 200. But if Myles Garrett, I think, can play for 5 more years and spend his time at the Rams, I think he can do it. And you think about it now, like at the Browns, he would have been involved in so many games where the Browns were behind. He's now going to be on a team where more often than not, his opponents are going to be chasing the game. And what's that going to do? That's going to create more opportunities for him, more obvious passing downs for him to rack up those stats individually. I know that the Super Bowl obviously is the key, the ultimate thing for him, but a nice little icing on the cake would be I'll get the individual all-time sack record as well. it's all there for him. It is all there for them because the talk about two completely different organizations, and I do feel for Verse. That is a tough adjustment to go from LA, not just from a football point of view, but a living point of view, to the Browns in Cleveland.
Is there any talk of Verse? Can they extend him? He was the first round pick. The crazy thing is like the Rams, they have other teams' first round picks on their roster, but none of their own currently. The last remaining one was, well, Goff before this, and then Jared Verse. They have
Exactly.
none of their drafted first rounders. I mean, there's only been two.
Yeah,
But,
Ty
well,
Simpson.
yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
I forget about him. He's a if Ty Simpson sees the field, then it's not what the Rams want to see this year. Yeah, like so. What I was going to say, can Cleveland extend Verse? I don't think they can they, for another year?
So I think he becomes eligible after year 3, and this is year. I think he's going into
This,
year 3.
this is
Yeah.
headed to year 3. Yeah. So Cleveland could have a situation where Verse holds out.
Yeah.
They could.
But
They can't. They couldn't extend him, so they've traded. He was part of the trades. He's not yet paid. Verse, if he has a good year in Cleveland, so if you like you're hinting at, if he hates the prospect of being in Cleveland, just serve your jail time, do the year, be productive, kill it in Cleveland for a year. You're going to get paid regardless.
yeah.
And yeah, I I really love Jared Verse, and yeah, he was a monster in his rookie year, and he's still good last year. Yeah, it's just a crazy trade, but I'll still be keeping an eye on Jared Verse. I still think I don't. You remember him in the snow game in Philadelphia? Like he loves it,
Mm.
loves it. So, and obviously that was in a cold weather game. In Cleveland, he's going to have to get up for a lot of like snow and cold weather games. So, can he? Obviously, that was what the deep into the NFC playoffs. Like he's going to have to do it on a regular dog days during the winter when the Browns are sucking. He's going to have to get up for that. But from what I've seen of him, he's got a really good character.
He's already there as well. He's already doing press conferences. So I feel like he's attacking this the right way. As you said, just ball out and you're going to get paid either way. And we'll see what happens next year with your market. But when you look at it from the Browns' point of view, I think like you said, this is a trade where both teams can win. And I know it sounds strange when you think that the Browns have lost Myles Garrett, but Myles Garrett hadn't shown up. He hadn't even spoken to Monken, like met or spoken to the head coach, which is crazy to me. So the writing really was on the wall when they deferred that bonus payment to September. Like that really got me thinking this could actually happen. So when you consider all of that, they've lost Myles Garrett and they've walked away with, well, what I would describe as 2 first-round picks, with one that's already a proven success, a second round and a third round. You can't get much more than that.
Yeah, and I think there is something in the fact that Jim Schwartz not getting the head coach led to this. I heard Jim Schwartz talk and basically say a whole load of nothing today. Like he didn't blame anybody. He just said that he was kind of surprised he didn't get the job, and obviously he couldn't really stay there because it would be an even more dysfunctional environment if he stayed. say the Browns start poorly, and they probably will, then the one successful unit on the Browns team is the defense. The defensive guys would be looking like, why aren't you the head coach?
Mm.
One of those defensive players was Myles Garrett, who was pretty successful under Jim Schwartz. The one successful unit they had, and I'm not criticizing the Browns for what they've done because Todd Monken hasn't coached a game in the NFL yet as a head coach. But that decision has, I think, in some way helped this Myles Garrett situation.
Those are two massive losses for them. So it is on Todd Monken and the offense to make up for that, because the defense isn't going to. I don't think the defense will be as good. Oh, I mean, obviously without Myles Garrett, but to lose Schwartz, who I think that side of the ball loved, that's quite a hole to fill, I think.
There's something, I mean, I don't know the details of it, but Florio raised this. Jim Schwartz is not allowed to coach this year.
Wow.
As I said, he didn't really say much in the interview. So he was very like well behaved in the interview. But for him to not coach this year, he must have been pissed.
Yeah.
So I think we heard the dumbed down version of Jim Schwartz's true reaction.
Yeah. So if it couldn't get any worse as a Niners fan with this trade, the prospect of Aaron Donald, his eyes starting to light up that Myles Garrett's in town, could he really come back? I mean, if he comes back at age 35, I still think he can go. I'm gonna just believe that he'll be pretty damn good. Because I think he won't come back if he doesn't feel that he can go at that level. That's been said in the past, where he doesn't want to just put bad film out there. So if he comes back, to me that indicates shit. Like, he's going to be pretty good.
Yeah, and he doesn't need to come back. Imagine Aaron Donald just rotating into the lineup on obvious passing downs. He just comes in for a few like bull rushes up the middle. I mean, good luck. Who do you block? Who do you worry about?
There's no answer here.
And the other guys, like Poona Ford's pretty damn good as well.
Yeah.
And Braden Fisk is pretty damn good. So, yeah. And the corners on the outside are going to give the pass rushers more time to get home. And it's just, yeah, it's not fair all around. But we've seen superstar teams before, and they don't always win because the game is played in moments and plays, and they could be amazing statistically, but does that mean they're going to win the Super Bowl? No, it doesn't. I mean, obviously I understand why they are favorites, but I wouldn't be too despondent if I was a 49ers fan. I'd still say we've still got Kyle. We've still got Kittle if he comes back. We've still got Warner if he comes back. And we've still got Purdy, and we need Purdy to be healthy throughout the whole year. And we've still got CMC, and you play the Rams tough. So
we definitely play the Rams tough. I mean, I've got to say, I think that there is a lot of head loss going on in the Bay Area based on the radio shows that I regularly sort of tap into, where they're all challenging ownership in the front office, saying, "Are we too comfortable?" Because I'll be honest, like, it does feel like we're being left behind a little bit. But you have to. The thing is, teams come in cycles, and I do firmly believe right now the 49ers aren't in a good cycle. We've got a lot of old guys. The Rams are in their cycle. And you've got to tip your cap to Snead because whenever they're in their cycle, they go for it. And that's what they've done again here. They did it, a few years ago when they won the Super Bowl with getting Jalen Ramsey and Von Miller and Odell Beckham Jr. In those days when those players were still quite productive. So
Yeah.
yeah, like we're gonna see, we're gonna see, but it does feel like for a superstar laden team, they've got some good characters here. Like this isn't like Myles Garrett isn't your outlandish front runner. Like he's just a unbelievable football player. McDuffie's not like that either. So it's all there for them. Like, we will have to wait and see if it can all come together. But I've got to give them like absolute credit for what they've put together so far this offseason.
Yeah, so the 49ers, the superstars team now in the Rams, and the defending Super Bowl champions in the same division.
Yeah.
I mean, good luck, Arizona. Good luck, Jacoby Brissett and Carson Beck, if he takes the field as a rookie. I mean, yeah, that's tough. But if I'm involved in the 49ers, I'm only worried about my own building and maybe trying to keep my players healthy throughout the season.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because too often when you make it to the playoffs, you're like, damn, how did the 49ers do it? Like they're so banged up. Like how many guys are on IR for the 49ers?
Yeah.
We still kind of don't know. But your bigger picture point about cycles, I mean, for the 49ers, sorry to remind you, but in my opinion anyway, it's Purdy under rookie contracts.
Yeah, I mean,
now it's tougher. Now it's tougher. You had to let. I mean, it's funny how it goes because now like the linebacker from Denver, he's come back. Who's the linebacker from Denver?
Greenlaw.
So yeah, you had to let Greenlaw walk, and now he's come back cheaper because you couldn't pay everybody because of the Purdy contract.
Yep.
Who else did you lose with the Purdy contract?
Hufanga.
Yeah, damn, both to Denver.
Mm-hmm.
Hufanga's been a success there as well in Denver.
But I think overall, like you look at those two, they're definitely losses, but I feel like the team has aged. Even someone like McCaffrey's not got that burst he had 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah.
I do have major concerns with Bosa because he's torn the same ACL twice now. And yeah, like I mean, I'll always love Kittle and Warner. Like they will all, up till now, I haven't seen a drop off in either of them, but it's coming. It's inevitable. So we're gonna see. But it's funny now thinking about Myles Garrett because we played the Browns last year, and there was one play where Kittle and Trent Williams were gonna double Myles Garrett, and he Euro stepped past them and sacked Purdy. Like you need to have a look at that because you're just like watching it going, really? Like he just made that look so easy against Trent Williams. So yeah.
Yeah. 49ers worry about like the training room and getting players through the season, and then we'll see because it's really tough. Like when you make the playoffs and you're playing against those teams, and
100%. But before we move on, I'm just going to tell you a little story. I'm going to take you back to 2016. It's week 16, and the Browns are 0-14. And this was back in the days of 16 games. So they're trying to not have an 0-16 season. They beat the Chargers to put themselves 1-14. Well, that actually gave the 49ers the number one overall pick until later that day, the Niners beat the Rams. So the Browns finished the season in the end 1-15. The Niners finished 2-14. The
Yeah,
Browns
I know
pick,
what you're going to say.
yeah, the Browns pick Myles Garrett. The Niners pick Solomon Thomas. The two wins the Niners had that year, both against the Rams. So a bit of a full circle moment. And a lesson for everyone: don't win pointless games.
Yeah, I mean, well, not to rub it in, but that was the draft of Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes.
It was.
So you still could have got out of jail. And how close Mahomes was to going to the Saints.
Yeah.
And how ironic that the Bills of all teams like traded out of the pick so the Chiefs could jump up.
Yeah, it worked out pretty well though. It worked out pretty well.
Josh Allen was not in that draft. He was not in the same draft.
Oh, he was in the next. Yeah, you're right. He was in the next one.
Watson, Mahomes Watson, and
Mahomes Watson,
famous Trubisky.
Yes. So I think we were at 3 in the end. So we traded with the Bears to go up to 2. And yeah, not a great draft.
No. You don't know until years later how the draft is. So I'm sure after the draft, like some Niners fans were quite positive about it. And yeah, and you don't know. I mean, even Deshaun Watson, like, it's funny we're talking about how things work out. Like, Deshaun Watson was a massive success to start with, at least in Houston. And then stuff happened.
Yep. So we'll see if he gets another go around this year.
Yeah. But no, like, still be positive. The Niners are still going to be damn good because Kyle is still there. Coach is there. Trent's still there. Purdy in moments last year was really good as well. So, yeah, it's going to be tough because, like you said, you're a year older, but you're still the 49ers. Still, like, the Rams are not going to steamroll through their schedule. They're not. No. And you also play them in Australia.
We do.
We do. You don't want to, but because there's no real. I mean, I know you love playing in that stadium in LA, but
yeah, they've taken a home game away from us this year, so
punish them.
We're going to see.
Yeah, there's going to be some motivation. Like, teams are going to be like, screw those guys. Like, I'm sick of hearing of like Super Bowl roster and Dream Team and all of this. Like, teams are going to be pumped to play the Rams this year.
Yeah, and they have a tough schedule. Well, we all do in the NFC West this year. So I definitely agree. I'm not sitting here thinking, oh, this team's going to go 17-0. But if they get to the dance, that they can definitely get the job done this year, I think.
Look, they're only one injury. Say Stafford gets hurt, and obviously you don't wish somebody to get hurt, but that would be devastating for the Rams.
It would be hard to win, I think, without Stafford.
Yeah, I think
even with the roster.
Like the corners, they got a couple, and then still the guys from last year. Pass rusher, well, yeah, they lost first, but the rest of the D-line's still pretty good. Wide receiver, they've got a couple. I don't think they're going to trade. Now that A.J. Brown deal is done, they're not going to trade Devontae Adams unless they get something better. So Stafford is the one. Like, something happens to Stafford and the Rams are done. Unless
100%.
Like something out of this world, but
I mean, we are going to get to our top 10 quarterback countdowns, but I'm pretty certain that Stafford's going to be in both of ours. So, he is what makes this offense tick. As great as Nakua is, as great as Devontae Adams still is, it has to be with Stafford. You know, it would be yeah, if Stafford gets injured, Ty Simpson is not taking this team to the Super Bowl in year one. And you can put me on freezing cold takes with that one. I just don't see it.
I think there could be an angle. I'm just thinking ahead of like the Rams being overpriced as well. Well, not overpriced, too short in the market. Like I saw the first thing that I did when I heard about the trade, and obviously looked at who.
Can I guess? Can I guess what you saw?
Go ahead.
I'm going to say around 11-2.
Yeah, bang on. 11.
Wow.
Okay, next question. Who and at what price are next?
See, this is
And I've
this
got
is
to remind,
difficult
I think I know the answer, but I'm gonna just double check this.
because like it's not it's what the betting public think. I'm going to say it's the Bills at I'm going to say 8-1.
So I think the price, from what I remember, was 10-1.
Wow, that big a gap.
Yeah, and I mean I'm on Bet365, so they are fair prices at least. Tend to be towards the top of the market, like most generous. So Bills, Ravens, first year head coach. Interesting. Bills, Ravens. Obviously, you've got the AFC side of it. Like you can't have two runners out of a conference. Someone's got a conference. So Bills, Ravens 10-1. The defending champs, Seahawks at 11. They always do this. It's so dumb. The Chiefs and Chargers and Patriots are all the same price at 16-1. What? Sorry, but what business do the Chargers have at being 16-1 to win the Super Bowl?
So someone earlier today was telling me that at one point the Chargers were preseason favorites last year, and I was like, according to who?
Yeah. Okay.
But okay, yeah, that's interesting.
Actually, Justin Herbert's got to win a playoff game, but what we're saying he's going to win 3 in one season.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'll lay that bet. Someone wants to. Damn, 16-1 for the Chargers. But I'm not saying it's a terrible bet because obviously things can happen. But I think there's better value out there in those teams that I just named.
Yeah, and you know me, I would argue, I would definitely challenge the Bills. I love Josh Allen, but I look at this from a team point of view. I don't see a Super Bowl team necessarily.
Yeah.
To be like second favorite at least.
Yeah, but that's the Josh Allen. He can just he can do everything. So yeah. we will give him some added juice.
Absolutely, always. So there was another big trade this week. Not as big as obviously the Myles Garrett one, but one that we were expecting. Patriots traded, I believe, a 2028 first round pick and 2027 fifth round pick for AJ Brown. Now, again, I kind of feel like both sides can win in this trade, but the more I've thought about it, the Eagles definitely won it overall. Because, as you said to me earlier in the week, who were the Patriots bidding against? And just the fact that we knew that they wanted to get rid of AJ Brown and they still get a first round pick, like that is not even surprising really for Howie Roseman. But I'm going to start with the Patriots. I think it is a win for them because they were going into, well, pre this trade, Romeo Doubs was their number one receiver. And for me, he's not a number one. But now he's your number two. That's a great number two to have. And obviously, it is on the basis that do I believe AJ Brown will go back to being AJ Brown as a number one? I do. And I actually thought he was a lot older than he actually is. He's 28. So there's still plenty of good years ahead. and he's getting a quarterback in Drake May who is a better passing quarterback, in my opinion,
Yeah.
to Jalen Hurts. So, do I think that AJ Brown's production is going to, go up? Yeah, no doubt about it. But the Eagles won this trade overall because they got a first round pick. They've got a ready made number one receiver in Devonta Smith who can step straight into that role. They've drafted a first round receiver in Mekhi Lemon and filled out that room with other guys. I mean, what did they do? They acquired Hollywood Brown. Like, he can give you a little bit. They traded for Dontavian Wicks from the Packers.
Yeah.
So, no worries about the Eagles moving forward, at least at receiver.
Yeah, I just wonder what leverage the Eagles actually had. I mean, that talking from outside, because everybody knew this trade was going to happen.
Yeah.
So if the Patriots offered less, then that's why I asked the question about who else was bidding in this trade. What was the leverage that the Eagles had?
Yeah. I mean, I think that's probably why the first round pick is 2028. So 2 years from now. Because that was probably what the Patriots offered. They said, here's our offer. Whether that's already too high or not. And I wonder if the Eagles were sort of like, yeah, that's a good offer, but we're just going to see if someone will offer their first round this year or not. And of course, June 1 rolls around and it's like an immediate trade. So I think, yeah, I don't know who the Patriots were really bidding against.
Yeah.
But it feels like this was on the table for a while.
Yeah, I think the Eagles have done well to get what they have.
Yeah.
We all knew that the trade was going to happen. But they're the Eagles. They're very well run. They do good deals that benefit their team in the future. And it's crazy to think that, like, AJ, yeah, he's super talented. He's a freak. But AJ Brown was on the field reading a book that far out, and they still got a first round pick plus for AJ Brown. When you think of obviously different situations, but when you think back to Antonio Brown leaving the Steelers for a third round pick, Randy Moss, the Hall of Famer, Randy Moss, I believe it was a fourth, or possibly even a fifth. It was definitely a fourth or a fifth to the Patriots from the Raiders. And he went on to be pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, George Pickens wasn't a first round pick recently, and he was very young at the time. It's the Eagles, man. So you're never surprised. But interesting, because the Patriots now, I won't complain about the trade anymore, because the respect to the Eagles, like I said to you before, like, if the Eagles ring up for a trade, just hang up the phone, just change, block all incoming calls from the Philadelphia area code. Just don't do it. Probably won't work out well for you. But to look now, so the Eagles have dealt with a problem. It was a problem in their locker room.
No doubt.
Yeah. So what's going to happen to the Eagles moving forward? You mentioned some receivers, and can Devonta Smith become much more of a part of the offense? And do they now, I know they weren't successful in running the ball that much last year, but can they somehow let's get back to being the best O-line in football and running the ball with Saquon? And Jalen Hurts, I said it last year, needs to run the ball more.
Yeah.
Because it helps Saquon, it just helps the whole team. But they've got another new OC, so we'll see how that goes. But interesting for the Eagles and for the Patriots. Now, your wide receiver room has upgraded massively from last year. So Drake May can really throw the ball. And yeah, but with the Patriots, you would expect them to be much better. But now they've got a much tougher schedule, and they've got the Vrabel Rossini stuff following them around. And I don't care that is going to be a thing because is he with the team or I don't even know. I'm not all over Patriots beat reports, but
Sounds like he's in and out.
okay, so that's not ideal.
Mm.
And yeah, like we'll see. I mean, it'd be a great story if the Patriots can overcome that. But I don't think that story's finished even.
It's not finished because she hasn't told her side yet.
So
So
it's a story that just keeps giving. And yeah, yeah, people are looking back through their old smartphones at like
tweets and connecting dots, yeah, like I it's tricky because she reported on the likes of AJ Brown and Julio Jones. She was did feel like she was trying to influence markets. So that is I don't want to make any accusations, but that is a bit dicey in my opinion.
yeah, and Vrabel doesn't strike me as a guy who can kind of like check in and check out.
Yeah.
I think it's like, he is the one who said like just take your heart pills and buckle up. That's
Mm.
Vrabel. Like he goes for it. So
Yeah.
he's doesn't really strike me as a part-time kind of a head coach.
No.
And if he's there, then you wonder if he's there mentally because yeah, it's tough, man. I mean, like could he have just taken a sabbatical or something or I don't know. I don't
Yeah,
know.
like Josh McDaniels runs the team for a year and then yeah. We're gonna see. But you know, my what's my ultimate rule? Like if you lose the Super Bowl, you don't get back the next year. There's always some sort of curse, and it feels like it hit the Patriots super early this year.
Yeah, but you know, have the Patriots upgraded their O line so that we don't have the same thing this year? And
Mm.
they did well throughout the regular season, but then, when they came up against that defense, and fair enough, it's that defense, but it was plain to see that, wow, the Patriots need to protect Drake May.
It's easy to forget during that regular season, they played the Browns, they beat the Browns, but Myles Garrett had 4 sacks that day. So they're going to have, if they haven't addressed that, every time they play an elite edge rush, they're going to have a problem.
The CJ Stroud playoff game,
Yeah.
like, it was a disaster, but CJ Stroud was more of a disaster.
Yeah.
Yeah, interesting for both teams. I wouldn't, we're way too early to do like Super Bowl picks, but both teams have got a shot for sure. If the Eagles can kind of come together, I mean, the Eagles are 18-1 to win the Super Bowl, and the Chargers are 16-1. But yeah,
The Eagles are so talented that their offense was completely underwhelming last year, and they still won the division pretty comfortably. And
mm,
okay, they've gone out at the wild card round, but that's with their offense barely functioning.
yeah,
So, we're not asking them to be the number one offense. I mean, if they're the number one offense, they're going to win the Super Bowl. But, they just need to be better than really bad last year, and they will be right there.
yeah. It's an interesting division, like the NFC East. I mean,
Mm.
There's no doubt that the Cowboys have got better, especially on defense, where the problems were.
Yeah.
And the Giants, I mean, the new head coach, the Abdul Carter, Jackson Dart stuff that's going on, and I know we're going to get to it, like the Malik Nabers, OBJ's coming back. Like, what the hell is going on? But yeah, so I think it'd be tougher for the Eagles to win the division, but still rather be in that division than you would be in the West, for example, or even the Patriots. Like, there's no, yeah, you'd expect the Cowboys to be better, but they're not the Bills.
Yeah.
You still would say the Eagles have got a great chance to win the division.
100%. And I look forward to seeing them in London. So,
Yeah, you don't know how much, because the Eagles, look at how much of a difference the change of OC made.
yeah, it did because they had Kellen Moore the year before.
Yep.
And, they obviously had to downgrade, or not had to, but they did downgrade. And yeah, their offense completely fell apart. I mean, you're right. It is tough. Every year you've got a new OC. But then I question, why is that the case generally? It's the Kellen Moore one, fair enough. He got a head coaching job.
Yep.
But there's got to be an underlying issue with the Eagles as to why OCs are not staying.
There is kind of, I don't really read too much details of stories like this, but there is whispers that Jalen Hurts is actually quite hard to deal with. He comes across as, yeah, he's a great teammate, but in terms of like coaching him, he's tough.
I think the theme has been, and this is something that Chris Sims has repeated, I want to say 5, 6, 7 times. So I'm going to take him for his word. He's heard directly from Philadelphia that Jalen Hurts doesn't want to expand the offense. That's what it comes down to.
Okay.
Like Jalen Hurts, that doesn't necessarily even make Jalen Hurts, like, I would say, uncoachable, but there's a difference of opinion right now where Jalen Hurts wants to run a simplified offense, and they've just hired, is it Sean Mannion, who is more of a under center play action type of coordinator, apparently.
Mhm.
So something's got to give either way. We're going to see.
Well, in theory, I mean, play action would be perfect for a quarterback like Jalen Hurts, but if he's not comfortable, and you've got to be comfortable in a play action scheme, you've got to get used to back to the defense. And
Exactly. Playing under center is not what he is used to his whole career.
you,
So,
you can. The flip side is they've got a running back and they've got an offensive line. So if the quarterback can play in a play action offense, then the Eagles could be really good. They're kind
yeah, and
of up to be a play action offense.
speed receivers,
Yeah.
like they, as great as AJ Brown is, they've gone for, like, I'd say crisper route running receivers. The Dontavian Wicks, for example, like he's not a big body receiver. Like, he's going to be someone that's going to be, running crosses and things like that. So I'm definitely intrigued. Like, I think there will be an improvement.
For sure. They're the Eagles. They'll be fine. The
Yeah.
Patriots, I mean, the Eagles will still be fine, but the Patriots, it could go. I mean, it could be bad. It depends on how bad the reaction and fallout is to this stuff that's still going on.
Yeah, no doubt.
Schedule, sorry to remind everybody, the schedule was a real thing last year. So, and now it's okay. And now you get your medicine. Now you get your punishment for being good.
Yeah, first place schedule.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, moving on. there was quite a big extension this week. Well, there's been a few, so we're going to get to your Steelers. But first of all, the Falcons and Drake London agreed on a 4-year, 141 million extension. So in new money average, that puts Drake London third, just a hair above Justin Jefferson at 35.25 million per year. It's one of those again where it's like, I feel like they've overpaid, but what was the alternative? Like, this is the penalty you have when you don't have good quarterback play. You are reliant on your weapons. The alternative is, okay, we don't pay Drake London. Maybe he even wants out. And then we don't have, a quality receiver. It is a lot, though. I mean, my goodness, like the Vikings are getting real value for money with Jefferson at 35.
Yeah, Drake London, fair play to him. But he was next. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Next, so he might be disappointed he's only third. That's the thing. But yeah, his agent's done well. He's not the third best receiver in the league, but he's in the conversation to be. He's in the talk to be top 10 for sure. Drake London. He's really good.
He's very good. I would say that there is probably 20 top 10 receivers in the league. So he is definitely part of that group.
Yeah, but if you made a top 10 list of wide receivers in the NFL right now, I think Drake London would make my list. It would be close.
Well, let's go through it.
But I think he is really good. And the Falcons, I mean, like you said, they had to pay him.
Yeah.
And they're not dealing with the Cousins money.
No.
So they're not paying for Tua.
They're not paying for Tua, yeah. Minimum for Tua, so that's good.
And that's what good teams do, is they do it early. I mean, they make a decision either way, like we're going to trade him and not pay him, and someone else can pay him, like the Rams, for example, or we'll extend him at that point. And good teams extend the players that they drafted if they either go one of two ways. They either extend the guys that they drafted or they trade them, like the Chiefs with McDuffie and Verse. They trade them before they got to pay them. So,
well, I would think that, this will be closely followed by Bijan Robinson.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Because
that's got to be, is that this year he's eligible?
I think he's been in the league more than 2 years. Like, I'm sure that he's been in the league 3 years now.
Yeah, I want to say this is he's heading into year 4, right?
So he's eligible.
Okay, so yeah. But
get it done.
I mean, just laid it out. It's good timing for the Falcons, right?
Yeah, definitely. They've got no quarterback to pay, so yeah. I mean, I know I'm being nitpicky with the average per year for London. I would have done exactly the same thing. Pay the guy.
Way it goes. Like
he's had monster games as well, and like I said, with pretty average quarterback play overall. Yeah. So it's one of those again where you're like, well, if you actually could provide good quarterback play, what could London do? Because we've seen these, 150-yard, 10-catch games where the defense knows the ball's going to him, but he's still making big plays. So, the more I think about it.
London, right? Interesting if he can be as productive with Tua, though, because Tua doesn't strike me as like a... London's so big that he kind of suits the way that Penix throws it up.
Yeah, Penix is going to bullet it to him.
I don't think he's kind of a... Tua being an accurate but not really strong arm quarterback. I don't know, that kind of fits with Drake London, but we'll see. I mean, that situation in Atlanta, like whether Penix is healthy for the season and who would, if they are both healthy, who's going to win that?
Wins. Yeah.
I mean, if Tua wins the battle, like wow, Penix is done if he can't beat out Tua.
Yeah.
And this would be what Penix is year three now. This is year three.
This is year three because year one, Cousins was the starter. He came in at the end.
Yeah.
He was the starter last year, and now we're kind of role reversal. We're bringing in Tua to compete with you. Yeah.
But he had a pretty bad injury, didn't he, towards the end of last year, Penix? So
Right. Which glosses over the fact that he wasn't playing particularly well just before that.
yeah, I remember us talking during the well, they weren't playing in London. Where did they
Was it
play?
the Germany game?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't like the look of Penix. He's
The 360 swivel before throwing,
he takes way too long to get rid of the ball.
Yeah.
I never watched this guy live, and now I'm watching every single play and like, what is he doing? This doesn't work, and he does the same damn thing in every play.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Falcons needed to play London. We got into a deeper thing about the state of the Atlanta Falcons, but we got plenty of time to get into the Falcons for the
Definitely. Definitely. So, Steeler news. Two big extensions. Like, I'd be interested to get your thoughts. Herbig, 4-year extension, 100 million. We'll see how that actually plays out when the contract comes out. But I just wonder how sustainable Herbig's, Highsmith's, and Watt's contracts are together. And then secondly, Mount Washington, also 4-year extension, 42 million. I'm going to love this guy for a long time.
He is a highlight reel favorite, Mount Washington. However, when you look into the actual production, it's not.
He's going to have to jump up in. Yeah, definitely. I agree.
Yeah. So I looked a bit into McCarthy and his press conferences and what he's saying about the roster, and he loves Washington, loves him. And he's saying that this contract is a future contract because we've evaluated the overall offense, and so he's saying all the right stuff. We've evaluated the offense, we've evaluated the receivers and the tight ends, and we love where the tight end room is. So the tight end room is going to be more heavily involved in this new offense with Mike McCarthy, the new head coach. It's all positive, and because of that, Washington's being extended. And it's not huge money, but it is big money. It's big money considering what he has done to this point in his career. So he's going to have to pay that back. But he can only pay it back if he's involved. And so Mike McCarthy now is going to have to make sure that that contract is worth it. The bigger one and the contract that has got people talking who are not involved or have insight into the Steelers is the Herbig one. But you've got to look at the history of the Pittsburgh Steelers, and this is what they do. They get ahead of situations, and so some Steelers fans are saying that, oh, okay, the Steelers have seen the value of premier pass rushers. So they're gonna this surely means they're gonna trade TJ Watt. Or they're gonna trade Highsmith because the pass rushers are so heavily valued in today's NFL. Or it could just mean that Herbig is really good. And in the limited time that he has had on the field, he has been really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
But it is limited time. So they're paying, similar to the Washington thing, they're paying a future contract now. not based on what he's done, but they're paying it based on who they think he's going to become. And bigger picture, the Steelers are paying way too much of their salary cap to this defense. And we'll see what happens with the whole TJ Watt Highsmith thing. There might be something that happens, but I think it just gives them some flexibility to, they like the pass rushers to be on the field every single down, and they can rotate the guys. And Herbig was holding in. He attended, but he was holding in. It's a funny shot. Like he's at camp in pads, congratulating the guys on their plays, but not taking part.
Yeah, that's the new trend.
And then 2 days later, he gets extended. So that's the new thing. I'm here, but I'm not going to physically get involved. I don't know. Yeah,
it usually works. But you're on a time limit because it reaches a point where if it doesn't get done, like you can't leave, and they, I don't know. I don't know if it's happened. Like I'm sure there's one or two where they're like, "Well, we're done negotiating. You need to play now." And that's the only drawback of holding in. If you're holding out, you're visibly not there, and there's more. It's one of those, isn't it? It's difficult. You hold out, you probably get it done, but you ruffle more feathers. You hold in, you better get it done because you're on a time limit.
Yeah, these players, I mean, the Steelers there'll be some serious questions asked if these two players are not heavily involved this season based on those two contracts. So they've tipped their cap as to what they're planning to do this season.
I think Herbig's going to be involved a lot. I guess I think you're right. Like the question is on Washington because there's a lot of weapons on the offense now.
Yeah.
And even at tight end, Freiermuth is, I'd say, I don't know. Rodgers seems to go to him in critical moments, at least. I know he doesn't get volume, but you're paying Washington $10 million a year. That feels like you're going to have to give him more than one or two targets a game.
Yeah. Well, just look at the history. I mean, the Steelers have success in drafting and paying pass rushers. They know what they're looking for. So Herbig, you got to trust the franchise. So when I saw the talk about, they're trading TJ Watt, yeah, maybe they are, or maybe they're at least exploring the opportunity. But this gives them the option to do that. And pass rushers are really, really valuable in today's NFL. And you have to trust the franchise. You look back through the history, they know what they're looking for in pass rushers. And you have to trust them. If they paid Herbig, then Herbig's going to be really good.
Yeah.
And in the limited sample size that we have seen, Herbig has been really good. So I'm quite actually excited to see Herbig in an expanded role.
Definitely. I mean, I'm sure there'll be downs where we see all three of them on the field.
Yeah. I don't know exactly how that will work because TJ tends to just stay his side.
Yeah.
Highsmith could be flexible. None of them. Herbig could actually drop into coverage. He's that athletic. He's not as big as the other two guys. But
I'm sure it's happened as well. Like I'm not saying that this is like a regular rotation, but I'm sure I've seen them all on the field at the same time on a few occasions.
Yeah. Yeah, get ready for Herbig to be much more involved and probably a double-digit sack season. He had 7.5 last year from 5.5 the previous year. So he's trending upwards and he is productive in the limited time he is on the field. So And the Steelers know what they're doing with pass rushers, so trust the process.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. So, last topic. This is an interesting one. Malik Nabers. Like, is there a problem here? Because um, the Giants have about 15 receivers on the roster. They signed OBJ,
Yeah.
Juju Smith-Schuster, and Braxton Barrios. And interestingly, there was a clip over the weekend, I think, of Malik Nabers at a celebrity like softball game, I think it was. And the way that he ran to first base, I don't know if he's just being extra precautious or not. He didn't look good. Like it looked like he was hobbling. And immediately I'm like, why is he even there? Like if that's an issue, why are you running at a celebrity softball game? But in any case, they've signed these three receivers. I mean, I looked at their depth chart today. They've got the likes of Darnell Mooney on the roster. Your old guy, Calvin Austin. Slayton's still there. So, you know, are any of these three that they've signed this week actually going to make the roster or not? Because I think they've all been signed on minimum deals.
Yeah.
OBJ, Juju Smith-Schuster, and Braxton Berrios. I don't know. Like, it's a question of, is Malik Nabers' recovery like a bit of a problem? Because he had a second surgery on it. So something obviously didn't go right first time round.
Yeah, what's the talk about that? Like, have they come out and spoken about Malik Nabers? And so he when did he? Because he's coming back from an ACL, right?
Yeah, so I believe he tore his ACL at the dreaded MetLife turf.
Yeah.
Um, he obviously had the procedure, but it's odd that he would then have a second procedure. Like that to me means that something didn't go right the first time round.
Early into the season, wasn't it?
Yeah, like I think it was like maybe week 7 or 8.
Right, because yeah, I remember like thinking that Jackson Dart's looking promising, and it's without Malik Nabers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, look, I mean, they're trying to solve the problem, the potential problem they have by throwing as many darts at the board as possible. Of the names that you mentioned, though, I will say I like Mooney. I think Mooney's a good player, and Mooney could be an upgrade on Wandale Robinson. So and I believe he went to the Titans. Is that right?
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Yeah, let the Titans pay Wandale, and we'll take Mooney. I think that's an upgrade. Calvin Austin in situations he can make plays. We don't want him on the field every down. He can make plays, and he is one of those guys that Aaron Rodgers just fell out with. So
yeah, clearly
there's many, and they're not all bad receivers. It's just Aaron Rodgers is, if you're not Randall Cobb or MVS, then you've got to be a certain personality, or Aaron Rodgers is who he is. I love him; he's my quarterback, but that's who he is.
Out of the three, who do you think has the best chance of making the roster?
Of OBJ, Juju, and who?
Braxton Berrios.
I mean, I don't even remember Barrios in the league. I think he was last on the Dolphins. Is that right?
I feel like was he a returner on the Dolphins?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so. I remember him on the Dolphins, but I want to see if he was on the Jets as well, like one of those journeyman kind of guys. I mean, OBJ obviously he was a superstar. He was amazing, but that's a long time ago now.
And he didn't play last year. And he didn't really play the year before at the Dolphins. Like he really didn't see the field very often. So the real last time we saw him was at the Ravens, where he did have flashes. Like he did make some big plays. But we're talking, what was that, 3 years ago now? So I think that Juju could make the roster.
I think it's ultimately, we're totally guessing. with these guys and their age, you would have to be watching Giants practice and go, oh, okay, he can still do it. Because we just do not know. Is OBJ anything close to who he used to be? We have more of an idea of who Juju is because recently Barrios, if he's returning kicks, maybe, sure, but I don't know.
It's funny because they worked out 4 receivers on Monday and they signed 3 of them. I can't remember who the 4th guy was, but he must be like, what? What did I do wrong?
Yeah, but it's June, so it's early. Yeah, these guys are not all going to be here.
Yeah, the bigger issue is just getting Malik Nabers healthy, I think.
Yeah. If Nabers isn't healthy, what the hell is he doing at a softball game?
Yeah.
What is going on with the Giants and this?
It's not been a good offseason, really.
Pulling off the field from the Giants. The code of conduct, Harbaugh's got to come in and this is how we do things. This is how we do our business, deal with our business off the field as well as on the field. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. But that raises the point that I made about is Harbaugh, is he really a great coach or is he just a product of Baltimore? Would a lot of coaches be really good if they were coaching the Baltimore Ravens? We're going to find out.
Yeah, we are going to find out because this is one extreme to the other, from the Ravens to the Giants.
Yeah, and it's the Giants, man. When the season comes around, I'll be back on my WFAN and I'll be all over the New York sports media, and because I find it amusing, they will let you know what they feel.
Yeah, yeah.
So John Harbaugh is going to hear it.
Yeah, definitely. New York. All right, so we will finish off with a draft, not the drafts that we have been doing, because I feel like they've been a struggle. So we're going to go for something else, Paul. I'm calling it, well, I've seen this a lot, so we're hopping on. Build a Super Bowl winning team. And what's going to happen is I'm going to spin a wheel. A team is going to come out. And you've got to, we're both going to fill out our rosters. Quarterback, running back, 2 receivers, tight end, and a defense. So we're going to have 6 parts.
We got quarterback, running back, 2 receivers.
2 receivers, tight end.
Do they have to be, can I have 2 wide receiver ones, or do they have to be
You're taking the best available. So, I'll just give you an example. If the Falcons come out, you can choose whichever position fits. So you can say, I'll take Bijan.
I'll take Bijan, yeah.
Yeah. And we can't take the same players. So what we'll do is, we're going to have 6 spins.
Mm-hmm.
You can go first on the first one, then I'll go first on the second, and we'll alternate it. But we can't pick the same players.
Okay, quarterback, running back, wide receiver, 1 and 2, tight end, and team defense,
and a team defense.
Okay.
And for this first run, we're going to do active players only.
Okay, cool. Yeah. It gets messy if you do history. Okay.
Yeah.
And will we be able to pick both from the same team? Will we both have the round?
So whatever the first team is, you're going to get first pick. Yep. I'm going to get second pick, and we're going to alternate of that team.
All right. Okay. I think we should do 12 spins. So
you want to do it like that? 12 spins.
Yeah.
Okay. All right then. We'll do 12 spins.
So that makes it much more random, and it's more difficult as well, I think. It could be tough, and we could get the Cardinals first round and then be, damn, we got to pick 2 players off the Cardinals. I'll take McBride, over to you. Good luck.
Yeah.
And then what are you going to do?
All right, 12 spins.
Yeah, 12.
First spin is the Philadelphia Eagles.
Okay. I mean, I'm questioning it. Like, do I take the defense straight off? But no, I'll play it. I'll play it like true. I'll take Saquon.
Ooh, okay. I'm going to write that down. Saquon Barkley.
I still believe in you, Saquon.
Definitely.
It's the OC.
Okay. I also got the Eagles. Ooh. So many good receivers in the league.
You gotta take
I
or Devontae.
I'm gonna take the defense. I'm gonna take the defense.
Yeah, that's fair.
Right, next up, the Cleveland Browns.
Uh, I'll take a receiver, and I'm definitely not taking a quarterback. And the tight end, Joku's left. Who plays tight end for the Browns now?
Harold Fanning, the
Yeah.
like going into his second year.
So I've got to take. Oh, and I've taken. I got. Judkins was a shout actually. If I was in a pinch for running back, but I've taken Saquon already, so I've got to go with the Browns defense.
Okay.
I've got.
Okay.
I've got no other option. Sorry, Cleveland. You gave me nothing.
I do not want to see Cleveland. So let's see what we get here. Ah, this wheel needs some refinement. I've got the Eagles again. So I'm gonna have to take Devonta Smith. Okay.
We need
Right,
a
come on, Will.
randomizer.
Yeah. Okay. Jacksonville Jaguars.
Okay. Hmm. Of the receivers at the Jags, so I don't want to take Trevor. Too early for Travis Hunter. Um, who's the other big play receivers for the Jags?
You got Brian Thomas Jr.,
Yeah,
Jacoby Myers,
nah.
Washington, Parker Washington.
Special teams. He's good, but special teams. I'll take Brian Thomas Jr.
Okay, BTJ. Wow, I get the Steelers. Ooh.
Take Mount Washington. You love him.
I'm taking Mount Washington.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm gonna do it because I'm holding out. I'm gonna hold
Over,
out
over DK.
over DK. I'm gonna hold out on hope.
Okay.
This is the thing. You got to take a few gambles here and there.
30 catches last year. He makes your team, but you know. Okay.
Wow, what a pick for you, the LA Rams.
Oh, the Rams. Okay, now we go. Oh, do I? So, wide receiver, quarterback. So, Puka or Stafford? What a problem to have. Three picks left. I've got quarterback, wide receiver, tight end. I will take Stafford.
Yeah, you got a safe pick. Stafford is looking pretty good now, I've got to say. Right. Okay. The Kansas City Chiefs. I'm taking Mahomes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, you could have taken Kenneth Walker.
I
That's
could have.
but you could have gambled because you don't know. But yeah, Mahomes is one of one.
The Panthers.
Uh, I've got to take McMillan, haven't I?
I don't know who plays tight end for them.
Some guy. I don't think is special at all, but it's got to be Tetaroa McMillan.
Okay. So I need a running back and a receiver. Okay. My 49ers.
Great.
Okay, there's
I was like,
some options. Mike Evans. I'll go CMC. I've got to go CMC. So this is it for tight end for you. This is it.
the Raiders.
The Chiefs.
So Travis Kelce, despite what he said about, by the way, what he said about this week, like, come on, man, like, have some class.
What did he say this week?
He just said, "Who's that guy?" It's like, okay, I don't expect you to watch Steelers games, but anyone who does would know that Herbig is actually pretty damn good.
Wow.
And in that transition period from he's about to leave the NFL and he's trying to be a media personality. But come on, man, have some class. Like Herbig is finding his way into the league and he's been pretty good. So yeah,
And you should know who that is. Are the Chiefs on your schedule this year?
I'm not sure.
Hmm.
I mean, they wouldn't only if we play that division because I'm going to look that up because obviously the Chiefs came. Yeah, the Chiefs came third in AFC West, so we're not going to play them based on that. No, we don't play the Chiefs this year.
Okay. Well,
good luck.
I was going to say no chance for Herbig to just have some bulletin board.
Like Herbig is well liked on the Steelers roster. Like he's a really good guy. So, and the Steelers have been known to be physical on occasion.
On occasion.
To aging tight ends as well, coming to their career, in putting themselves in vulnerable positions to catch balls. Yeah, but that's a shame. There hasn't really been any. I haven't because I didn't click on the comments, but I did see just the headline of Kelce said this. I was like, what the hell is he doing?
Yeah. So my final spin is the Ravens. So someone I've been, I loved him when he came into the league. I've been probably more critical than most recently, but I'll take Zay Flowers.
Okay.
So I don't know. Let's have a look. So you've got Stafford, Saquon, Brian Thomas Jr., McMillan, Kelce, and the Browns defense. I ended up with Mahomes, CMC, Devonta Smith, Zay Flowers, Mount Washington, and the Eagles defense.
I think it's close, but I give you the win. Just the top of your roster is stacked. That Mahomes, CMC, Devonta Smith. I mean that, and then I was backed into a corner with the Browns. So, but the Browns, I mean, yeah, they're still gonna be pretty good. But yeah, just that top of your roster. I mean, actually saying that, I've got the MVP.
You've got the MVP. I've got an all-time quarterback coming off an ACL tear. The only thing I probably went wrong with is I should have probably taken Dowdle at running back because then I would have ended up with Kittle at tight end.
I love Dowdle, but that is stupidness. You should not have taken Dowdle.
But as a collective, I would have then had Kittle.
Yeah, but we don't have like Dowdle's not an every down running back. You're trying to win the Super Bowl.
McCaffrey is an every down running back.
You're talking about Rico Dowdle And Christian McCaffrey, come on.
I tell you what, we're going to do this again because I think there is definitely room for these teams to be stacked. I don't know why the Eagles came out so many times, but
We'll get one of those randomizers.
yeah, definitely.
So, and if we do hit the same team or something, then we've got to respin.
Yeah, maybe we'll respin. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so testing our knowledge because, I mean, for the life of me, I'm not sure who plays tight end for the Carolina Panthers.
Yeah.
It's not Greg Olsen anymore. I know that.
Yeah, yeah. But that would be some game. I think that would be close. I'll agree with you. I think I'll lean just my team.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay.
Yeah, I'm not upset with my team. I've still got Saquon and Stafford, so I've still got the reigning MVP, and Saquon should have been the MVP 2 years ago. So yeah, I think I'm good.
McMillan, very decent as well at receiver. So
I love McMillan, and he's been great since coming into the league. Made a massive difference to Bryce Young.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, mate. Good to talk, and I'll catch you next week.